Rise and shine. Mm-hmm. It truly is. It's time to get up. Mm-hmm. It's time to rise and shine, people. It's time to get up. Time to go to work. Next up, our daily bread. And of course, the weather and all that good stuff. So, how to get your day started. But right now, let me tell you, it is a great day to be alive. It is a day that it's never been. It is a day that you're on top of the ground and the ground's not on top of you. I'd say that's a reason to be thankful this morning. Okay? Right on. Okay? It is a day that has never been. And this is a day that once it is gone, it will never, ever be again. It is a once in a lifetime deal. And once it's over, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. So whatever you do at this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you will be proud of what you have done on this day. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is Decisions, because everything we do in life requires us to make one. And even if we don't make one, well, we just made one. Okay, so next up, it is our daily bread. We'll be back with the festivities of the day. Again, it is July the 22nd, 2025. Oh yeah, I'm feeling good. Next up, our daily bread. Almost I can see. Okay, that's good. All right. Oh, let me make sure I put this out there so people know what segment I'm on. RDAILYBREAD. That's the way we roll around here first thing in the morning, because we make sure we get a word from on high before we do anything, because this day wasn't promised to me, you, or anybody else. Let's go to work. I'll be right back.
God delights in saving His children.
Our Daily Bread.
Today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional was written by Kirsten Holmberg. Kirsten writes, I scanned the water intently, on alert for signs of trouble. During my 6-hour shifts as a lifeguard, I watched from the side of the pool to ensure the safety of those swimming. Leaving my post or even becoming lax in my attentiveness could have grave consequences for those in the pool. If a swimmer was in danger of drowning due to injury or lack of skill, it was my responsibility to pluck them from the water and return them to safety on the pool deck. After experiencing God's aid in battle against the Philistines, David likens his rescue to being drawn out of quote-unquote deep waters. David's varied life and that of his men was in serious danger from his enemies. God buoyed David as he was drowning in disaster. While lifeguards are paid to assure the safety of swimmers, God, on the other hand, saved David because of His delight in him. My heart leaps for joy when I realize that God doesn't watch over and protect me because He's obliged to, but because He wants to. Kirsten concludes, when we feel overcome by the troubles of life, we can rest in the knowledge that God, our lifeguard, sees our struggle, and because of His delight in us, watches over and protects us.
Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from 2 Samuel chapter 22, verses 17 through 20. He reached down from on high and took hold of me. He drew me out of deep waters. He rescued me from my powerful enemy, from my foes, who were too strong for me. They confronted me in the day of my disaster, but the Lord was my support. He brought me out into a spacious place. He rescued me because he delighted in me. That's today's scripture reading from 2 Samuel chapter 22, verses 17 through 20.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for seeing our struggles. Thanks for being willing to step in and help us, Lord. Help us as well to trust your rescuing love for us fully. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Chorus! Attention! Who? Airborne! Here we go, all the way, gotta be rough and
Okay, I
tough,
gotta replace this song.
airborne, every day, we run to the sun, no sweat, not yet, down in the mess hall on my knees, we got nothing to eat but a can of beans, the bread was molded and the meat was bad. Well, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Hey, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go, all the way, gotta be rough and tough, airborne, all the way. When I was young, I always wanted to
Time to
be
rise
in
and
the
shine, people. You
82nd
wasting daylight.
Airborne, knees in the breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight. All the way airborne, all the way driving on. All the way airborne, all the way driving on. Early one morning in the drizzling rain, when I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane, Jump Master said 1 minute to go, green light lit with a chilling glow. All the way airborne,
Time to rise and shine, people. Time to get up. Let's go to work.
all the way airborne, all the way driving on. Here we go, all the way, gotta be rough and tough, airborne.
Ah, that always motivates me first thing in the morning. You know, reminds me, I'm doing that for Z. See, hopefully he's getting the vibes down there at Fort Leonard Wood. He's getting the vibes. I can't wait to see my child again. I tell you, this is hard on me, but I'll make it through it. Yeah, I'll make it through it. Anyway, good morning to everybody. Hope this day finds everybody well. And as everybody heard, everybody knows that Malcolm Jamal Warner, the guy who played Theo, of course, if you didn't know, you know now. On the Cosby Show, drowned yesterday. Where was he at? He was Camazamel or Mozamel or whatever they call it, or one of those places. No, well, he was in Costa Rica, actually. Okay, but Malcolm Jamal Warner, who was a teenage son, Theo Huxtable, in the Cosby Show, was central in that cultural phenomenon that helped define the 1980s. I liked him. I didn't have any reason not to like him. But evidently he caught the cramps or something down in that water down there, and that's all she wrote, I guess. But anyway, he was a pretty interesting young man, actually. Well, he wasn't that well. 54, wasn't younger than me, so I guess he was a young man. Okay, first of all, before I get started on anything, okay, I want you guys to know I did something yesterday that I don't normally do. But I've seen so many misadventures of young people around here lately till I had to do something yesterday. Okay, now this is what I did. So I'm sitting in the house yesterday and I'm hearing all this rap music, right? I'm hearing all this rap music. And the N word, every word in there was nigga this and nigga that. So rather than sit in my comfort of my own little place here, I took a chance. And I went down and talked to the young men. Now, at first, I thought that's going to be totally disrespectful, like most young folks are, but they were not. So I walked up to him. I said, I loved you. I loved loud music. As a matter of fact, in 1975 or 76, 77, somewhere around that time, I had Teddy Pendergrass where people could hear him on the next street. Okay, so playing loud music is not that big a deal with me now, but it is what you're playing that bothers me. And I said, every other word that comes out that car is nigga this and nigga that. Can't say this on the radio. And I said, you cannot expect people to respect you if you don't respect yourself. I said, now, if a white guy rolled up through here and they had a white guy with him, as a matter of fact, I said, but if he rolled down through here and called you a nigga, then you would be all upset. They said, yeah, it would be. I said, okay, that's cool. And rightfully so, maybe, if you that kind of thing insults you. But they actually listened intently to what I was trying to tell them. I said, listen, it's about respect. And you got to respect yourself. I said, if you don't respect yourself, stop expecting everybody else to respect you. Now, I have good news this morning. Because normally I expected to be cussed out, be told, man, like, get your butt in the house, old man. You ain't have no business out here. It's too hot for you anyway. See, I expected to hear all of that. And I didn't. They were, now they may have been in their mind saying, somebody get this old coot out of here. But no. And they could still be saying that, but they gave me all the utmost respect, young black men and one white guy. And I said to myself, well, maybe we're doing a bad job of at least demonstrating to them how we should act and how we should play our music. I said, playing loud music is cool with me. I mean, really, the Whispers, the Teddy Pendergrass, the New Birth. I mean, all them people, man, I played them loud. I even put one of them big speakers in my car back in the day. So I like loud music, but it depends on what you're saying. If all you're doing is spewing out, and the young folks got to get, if all you're doing is spewing out negative vibes, you're going to get negative vibes back. So I just wanted y'all to know, I don't just talk the talk. I get out there and I walk the walk sometimes. I talk to them. And you know what? They actually, they still played the song, but they played it lower. Okay, I said, well, that's cool. At least they know that somebody is listening to them and watching them. And again, you have to respect yourself, okay, before anybody else will. And I told them, I told them that this is why there's a negative connotation with young men, because they figure if you don't respect you, why should they? Okay, I mean, and I'm seeing so many things on TikTok and so many things on Facebook where police are beating people out of their cars, and I'm hoping these are skits, because the police don't really come up to you, do they, and bust your window and yank you out your car. They don't really do that, do they? I don't think so. I mean, wouldn't that be kind of like against the law? I mean, they tell you to get out. I mean, there's got to be a better way than damaging people's property. I mean, for a traffic ticket, there's got to be a better way than that. There's got to be a better way than what our and I hope these are skits. I really do. I hope these are skits. I hope these are not necessarily actual encounters with the police. I mean, I hope it is. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody that. I don't know anybody gets treated that way. Morning, Brenda.
Good morning.
How you doing?
It's the way you approach. See, everyone doesn't know how to approach young people. We think we do because we're older.
Mm-hmm.
But see, you tried a different technique, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they let you approach them to be able to even deliver that message to them. And you yourself just said you were just surprised how they treated you.
Well, I was. I thought they was going to tell me to get the hell on or whatever, But
See, we think we know our
yeah.
young people, and we truly don't.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what's wrong with them. They don't have people who truly care. Now, Kevin, when the mayor comes on in that calls in, or whenever you're gonna have him on, I
Hmm.
want to know what happened to that money that was supposed to help the disadvantaged youth in the city. Have they done anything? Has anything improved? What are they actually doing on that contract that they have? What are they
you're
actually
talking about
supposed to?
the Live Free people.
The Chicago people.
Yeah, the Live Free. And I've asked. Listen, I've been inquiring about that. I said $3 million. 1.7 from the county or the city.
Why don't you ask because that is public information. Ask the mayor for that contract so the public will know what services they're supposed to provide to the city and the community.
Yeah, so far I think they've been putting out signs talking about conflict resolution.
That is what's so innovative about that. We could have come up with that, couldn't we?
For less than $3 million.
See, that's the problem. They don't want to listen to the people in the city who have the capabilities of doing the things like you do. They don't want us involved. And sometimes I think they want it to be bad like this.
Yeah. Well,
because they're not doing anything. They're just sitting back. That this city has been taken over. We might as well admit it, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you
can't even go to the service station now and get gas. You might be an unintended victim. Okay.
Yeah. That's why you gotta.
And if the city of Montgomery, the people in this city don't get in an uproar about this and make their opinions known, something is wrong with you. If you want to just move out of town, it moves right behind you. You know how that goes, okay?
Well, that's true too.
You can't run away for it. You have to deal with these issues, Kevin, and you have the power of the microphone, okay? So please use it the way God wants you to. But we need some questions answered by the mayor.
And I do want to know.
We need him coming on here frequently to inform us of what's going on. We don't want to hear the same thing about the public has to be involved. We didn't get paid for that. We didn't ask for the job. He's the one that wanted to be the mayor. So he needs to handle his business appropriately. If he doesn't have people under him that who are capable of doing what they're assigned to do, they need to leave. They don't even need to be in the position.
Yeah.
But it's all about that almighty dollar, and you know it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for what you did.
Yeah. Julie Beard had a meeting yesterday someplace, right? In one of these churches someplace.
Yeah, we keep meeting and what do we do?
Yeah, and that's why I don't really go to them anymore. I mean, you go there, you sit there. I don't really care about meeting. I just care about what's being done, or because you can send me an email and just let me know what's going on. I'll be all right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
because are y'all actually gonna hear our voices? Are you gonna do something about it? Are you gonna fight on that council for the citizens who elected you? See, they get big-headed. It's some people on that council that got the big head, okay? Like I told you, they've never made as much money as they're making now. Well, and they don't know how to act.
I don't think it's about 30. I think it's 30 grand a year. It's not.
But it's more than what are we making that amount of money?
Not at the moment.
I think we can make more better decisions than they are. It's what the mayor wants. What this person wants. Forget those people. You're working for the citizens, and you need to speak every single one of them, and I'll call out their names. But I don't have to if you know who's on the council.
Yeah.
Every single one of them do the same thing. They do not, except for Pruitt.
And Oronde Mitchell's out there. Oronde is out
but he's not doing anything. He hasn't been successful. He's talked the talk. I want you to walk the walk and get out on the streets and go to the people in those scary areas where you don't want to go at night.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of
where the boys have taken. They're the streets that those guys have taken over, right?
No, there's a couple of streets being taken over.
that.
Oh, I didn't know
They
that.
get houses now to sell the drugs. You know that. So a bunch of young people will stay together. That's their business. And they take over the streets that they're living on. They be all in the street and everything.
Well, you ain't talking about New Jack City, are you?
Well, if that's what if Montgomery want to be New Jack City,
I mean,
so
come
be
on.
it.
I mean, the Cabrini Greens and all that stuff. I didn't know. No, I didn't know that. I guess
No, there are streets, yeah. And if
Hmm.
you go to talk to those guys again, or a group of guys, they'll tell you. So I heard something. I want to know if it's true. That
Yeah.
there's certain streets in Montgomery that have been taken over by drug dealers.
Yeah. Well, we got to look at it. But I do
And
want to
that's
know.
why they ask them why they're not going into those neighborhoods. You think they don't know? Do you know they have people? They pay people to snitch on other folks when they have crimes that are going to be held against them that they committed. See, they don't want to get out on the streets and do their job.
But you know, snitches get stitches. Okay.
I know it. And see, that's what bothers me, that you're putting someone in a dangerous position. They will find out. Okay, they have ways. They know people on the police department too.
All right.
And that's how they get a lot of their information. I told you that. Well, it's really sad.
Yeah, but it's gonna get better, or worse. We know. Hopefully, it's gonna get better. All right.
Okay.
Hey, appreciate it. You know, and one of the things she brings up is I listen. I am not against the mayor or anybody on the city council. I'm not. I'm not against anybody. I think they do an adequate job of the administration part of their job. I think they do a wonderful job at administering and coming up with ordinances. I mean, we got more laws on the books downtown Montgomery, Alabama, probably than the U.S. Constitution. Okay, we got a lot of laws. Anybody can make a law. Okay, anybody can make a law. I can make a law. Okay, but our problem is that we certainly have a difficult time. Good morning, Bud. We certainly have a difficult time of holding people who make the dollars responsible for the environment in which this city is in. And I'm not blaming them. Let's get that straight. We're not blaming, but we hire people to do a job. And part of that job is to make sure that the environment by which we live in is conducive to order that's safe. And I realize you can't plan everybody's safety. I realize that, but if I hear one more time that there's nothing I can do, then we need to hurry up and have an election. Okay. We need to. If you don't do anything but walk your streets, walk your area like you did when you were running for office, if you don't do nothing but that, that's doing something. That's doing something. I mean, who do we blame? Who do we hold responsible for the situation that we find ourselves into? And I don't want to hear that about parents. Okay. That's why we have government, because all parents don't do what they need to do. They just don't. They don't do what they need to do. So I'm sick of that. Give me a city council person or somebody like that who takes responsibility for the environment in which we have to live in this city under right now. I mean, people getting shot in their homes from outside, people driving down the street, becoming paralyzed because, again, this has got nothing to do. We know, okay, let's just square this away. We know that Pruitt, Szymanski, Marche, the other woman down there, we know that they are not personally responsible for any of this. But as a collective, which is mean the city council, they are responsible. They're responsible to us. Somebody needs to come up with a plan. And I've said this on many instances. We are a city that is surrounded by at least 7 universities. Some part of 7 universities are in Montgomery. We got ASU, we have Troy, we have Faulkner, we have Amaridge, we have and a couple more colleges. We teach sociology, we teach biology, we teach all of these disciplines. Now, and here's the question: somebody need to tell me, because what we may need to do is just close them down, because evidently the things that they're teaching, the theories by which they put forth, are not necessarily reality. Because why do you teach sociology if you cannot help us straighten out the situations that we have in our societies within our cities and towns? Why can't you do that? Okay, and I agree with you. Discipline is a lifestyle. It is, but we have failed. We have failed to make a lot of young people understand that discipline is one of the ingredients of the meal of life. And it is a meal because it comes with different flavors. It comes with different things. It comes with different restaurants. It comes with a whole lot of different things. We have failed. And again, I'm wondering, why are we so intent on telling our kids to go to college if the things that they teach, they cannot see? Okay. I mean, actually, if you teach some sociology at ASU or Auburn, AUM, why can't you come out here? Okay. Again, this is just my own question. Why can't you come out here and talk to us about the social issues that are going on in our time? It's like, now that's one thing I do like about Harvard and Yale and Cornell and Cal Berkeley. I like the fact that those people actually get involved, whether you like what they get, in the communities. The professors, they get involved, and they are called on sometimes to render assistance in their field of expertise. When is the last time anybody at any of our colleges and universities have spoken publicly in the public arena about the social position that we happen to be in our country? And forget our country. Let's talk about our city. And let's go even further than that. How about our neighborhoods? I mean, what do they teach in sociology if, in fact, none of that crap means anything? I mean, you guys teach it. You take people's money and you give them degrees. And so, I mean, I'm thinking if you get a degree in sociology, especially a PhD, you know everything. Okay, or close to everything anyway. You think you do. Anyway, so it's just something is wrong either with our education system or the curriculum that we are teaching. Okay? I mean, how are we going to be surrounded by 7 universities and not be able to fix one problem? I mean, think about this. We can't fix one problem, not one. But we keep we keep making our kids go to school and spend all kinds of money to learn. Well, then what are we learning? And if we're learning something that we can no longer use, I mean, listen, we can get an AI computer, and an AI can pretty much counsel you if you need counseling. You don't really need a person to do it. But if you just want advice, we can set up a computer in a room and give you some advice. I mean, AI is pretty good. It's a pretty good informer. I don't know if it's a good teacher, but it is a pretty good informer. So that's just my thing. I mean, nobody ever answers me that question. How come with all the universities that we have around this place, why is it? And we got a whole bunch of people, whole bunch of people getting in debt. I mean, you hear we got presidents of the United States wanting to forgive people. You know why they don't want to forgive their loans? You know why they want their loans forgiven? Because they're not worth anything. The education that they're receiving today is not worth anything. It's not. I mean, we got colleges and universities who are trying to tell you that a man can become a woman. I mean, no wonder we ought to get their loan money back. No wonder they skip it because they don't feel. If I'm a doctor, see, I know that if I go through medical school, there are tests that I have to pass to make sure that I am learning something, that I know what's going on, at least in theory. And here's another thing: they make you go through an internship because it's not enough just to have the degree. It's not enough. You have to have some experience to go along with it. That's why doctors are internists. They learn, they train under people. Has anybody ever thought, am I the only person ever thought about this? We're surrounded by all these schools. Academia. We're surrounded. Somebody right now got to write a check for the student loan. Are we really learning anything? Is it benefiting us as a society? The only people who seem to be benefiting us as a society from an educational and academia standpoint are people who work in technology. People who work in technology, okay, they are benefiting from their education. Most of the other education is theoretical, especially the humanities. They're just theoretical. Okay. Here we go. Criminals are responsible. And we know that. We know that parents and society are not responsible for crime that a criminal commits. Okay. Let's talk about that for a second. We are responsible how we respond to it. We are responsible for that. And if we don't respond to it, then we're double responsible for that. So we have people who are in office who we are paying good money. The legislators downtown who go to the State House for 3 months out of a year make $69,000 a year. We can't get people out here working 40 hours a week every month making $60,000 a year. But these guys get almost 70,000, almost 100 grand to go downtown for 3 months a year. Yeah, we can hold them. They're not responsible for the idiots that do the crime, but they are responsible for the environment in which it exists. They're responsible to us. Okay, it's almost like, well, we got a police department, but the police not arresting anybody. Somebody said last year we wrote 1,700 traffic tickets. Now you and I know we can go down the street and we can see 14 tickets in the same hour. Somebody doing something stupid going down the road. Okay, they just wasn't writing them. Okay, and if you let people get away with the little stuff, then what happens is that the big stuff is no big deal for them. It's not a high mountain. It's not a high mountain to climb. Okay, I'm just telling you. So we have got to. If we're going to pay people money to represent us, that's right. We pay people money to arrest a criminal. That's right. But if you don't arrest people, then you are responsible for whatever act that they do. And I realize you can't. We got a constitution. I'm all familiar with the Constitution. They have rights, and that's true. But something's wrong. We're not. And stop making excuses for people who is making almost $70,000 a year for part time. They can put in. I'm put this way. If your boss tells you if you're late one more time, you don't have a job. So if you're late one more time, you don't have a job. Now that's pretty serious. That's pretty serious. So, and the consequences of that. We don't really have many consequences out here. We don't. We don't have. Our consequences are not stern enough. Okay. Now, I don't think it's how long you put people in jail for. I think it's what you do with them when you have them in jail. That's the issue. We can't make them work. We can't make them pick up trash. We can't do this. We can't do that. Society is responsible. Again, our leaders are responsible for the environment by which we live. Okay, they're responsible to us. They're not responsible for it, but they are responsible to the people. And I don't want to hear anybody else tell me anything else about what they cannot do. I mean, come on, really? How rich are you for not going to a university of higher education? I'm good. I'm absolutely good. As a matter of fact, some of the people in this country, in this world, who are some of the smartest people, okay, don't have a college degree. Okay, listen, I realize you paid a lot of money for it. I mean, I do, and I ain't mad at you. But what's it worth if it doesn't change the lives of the masses? Well, what's it worth? I mean, but listen, I imagine y'all paid a lot of money for that stuff. Listen, I want to I'd want to get a return on my investment. Now, teachers, I will admit, teachers, they used to make a big difference. Now, the environment in schools and public schools, anyway, to the point where y'all just want to survive. I don't blame you, but you just want to survive. But having a degree anymore, it don't mean what it used to. It just doesn't mean, unless you're an engineer or you're involved in technology, your degree is almost useless. Okay, I mean, it's again, if we have colleges and universities that are telling people that a man can have a baby, okay, and that you can actually transfer one sex to another strictly on your mental state, it's useless. It's not worth anything. Just not. I mean, we actually got people who actually in college who actually believe they can turn themselves into a female. Yeah, and a woman thinks because she takes testosterone pill that turns her into a man. Listen, I ain't mad at y'all. Y'all good. But that's just not life. That's not the way life is. Okay. Now if you tell me you think you are female, I can live with that. That's your head. You have a right to your own thoughts. That's your brain. That's cool. But when you tell me scientifically that you are one, the conversation ends right there. Okay. I'm just saying we need to get back to some strict. We need intellectual discipline, not just physical discipline. Okay. Education used to be the essence of discipline. It's not so much anymore. It's just not so much. And another thing, look at President Trump. We put a guy, and I voted for him, and given the same circumstances that I've had in the last few years, I'd vote for him again if the same people were running against him. But think about this for a second. We took a man who had never been in public office and made him the head bottle washer and cook in the United States of America. We made him the president of the United States of America. Now, everybody who didn't vote for him, how did we do this? We did this because people know when something is out of kilter. We knew we may not understand exactly what it is, but we know when things are not right. And Trump certainly don't have all the answers. But we know from our own experiences that people who have been in there for years certainly didn't have the answers. And so rather than come up with the answers, they made more problems. I want you to think about this for a second. Now just think about this. Just think about this. We actually have people in charge of things who actually believe that they can transfer from a male to a female, all on their own, and by taking a pill. Okay. And if you have people, Big Say, if you have people who are so confused intellectually that they really believe that, then the rest of us, okay, we're in danger. Because those people are the people that are going to be in charge of many things in the very near future. I mean, we got people who actually believe that. Well, listen, it's working out for me pretty good. Me pretty good. Again, Trump, like any other man, I don't like all the things he does, but I didn't like none of the things that a lot of them did coming. Nothing. So, matter of fact, I'm trying to think of the last time I actually liked the president of the United States. It's been a minute. George Bush, number one, I liked him. I liked him. I even liked Jimmy Carter a little bit, but I was in the Army then, so I didn't have to deal with a lot of stuff in civilian world. But I can't think of a president. Well, now I like Trump only because he doesn't mind being a man, and we're trying to convince men now that having testosterone is a disability. Okay, we are trying to convince men that they got too much testosterone. Really now, too much. I'm too much man. Okay then. But let somebody start coming in the door at nighttime. Let somebody start coming in the door, breaking in your house. You want the man there, okay? You know why? Because he got that testosterone thing going on, okay? I'm just telling you. Because, Shelley, you asked a great question. You know why? Now I want you to listen to this and listen to this clearly. If you if you believe in your mind and your intellect is so devoid of common sense, if you believe that you can transfer yourself from one sex to another, then you are crazy as hell, and we don't need you anywhere near education, anywhere near supervision over anybody's kids. We don't need you in any public policy institute that we have in this country. And if you believe that, if you really believe that you can transfer yourself from male to female, then you are crazy as hell. Okay. And therefore, I can't follow you any place. Okay. That's why. And if you can't, and that is the most basic tenet of our species is male and female. And if you really believe that you have the ability on God's green earth to change some of the basic tenets of our species, because your mind is warped, then I don't want you near me. I don't want you actually in leadership in any way, form, or responsibility. I'm sorry, I don't. Because if you deny not only science, but the existence of a creator, then I can't use you. We can have a conversation. We can go to McDonald's together. We can have a drink. If I drink, we can have a drink. We can do that, but you can't lead me any place. You can't leave me in a place. So that's why I always get back to this transgender crap, because first of all, scientifically, there is no such thing. No such thing. And I put $4,000 on the table years ago. Anybody can show me that it is a construct by the imagination of people who are not mentally stable. Okay. There's no such thing as a transgender. No such thing. None. Prove it to me. Give me the scientific proofs of the only man or woman that turned themselves to another sex. Just give me the proof. That's all I'm at. Give me the proof. And if you believe in a construct and you want to change our society, the basic premise of who we are, male and female, because God made it that way. If you are building on a theory that can never be proven, can never be done. That's why I go back to the transgender. Because if you can't believe you can't believe your eyes. If you really believe that you can take apart what the good Lord put together, if you believe that, you are crazy as hell. Okay. And I don't want to be anywhere near you. No place. Okay. We can be friends from a distance. Okay. So just because you put on a wig and wear a dress, like the Biden administration, we gonna put a guy with a wig and a dress on and call him a ma'am and put him in charge of in HUD. Okay, put him in charge. He was the assistant director. Listen, this guy was the ugliest woman I ever seen. Okay, but Biden administration, that's what they believe in doing, and then Obama thought it's okay for boys to go to the bathroom that women go to. Okay, yeah. If you cannot believe in the basic tenets of our existence, male and female, then you are crazy as hell, and there's nothing else you can tell me that I'm going to believe. It just won't happen. Just won't. Okay, so that's why I always because if you can't, if you cannot understand that, and if you really believe that you can turn yourself from one sex to another, then boy, we don't have much to talk about. But now I'm a reasonable guy. Logic and reason is my friend, and common sense is my cousin. You give me the proof. Give me your proof. Now, I'm not talking about hermaphrodites. Every once in a while, there is a situation in birthing where an individual is born with both genitalia. That's a hard one. That's not the norm. But if you think about it, with the drugs we take, with the things we do to our kids and pregnancies and like that, that's our fault too. Okay, so I'm just saying. So, but show me the proof where somebody was born a man. There are women who can beat me. I agree with you. Just because a guy's a man don't mean he's tough. We don't need men. I never said I believed it. I simply asked why all you talk about it makes me wonder. You sound transgender phobic. I am transgender phobic. Yeah, I am. There's no such thing. Yeah, I am transgender phobic. Yeah, as a matter of fact, let it be known to the world. Yeah, I don't believe it. Yeah, you can't be something that you're not. But again, now don't get me wrong. I'll have pity for you, and I'll show you respect that that we show people, because I mean, like people may not believe things I believe, but I will still show them the respect. They have a right to believe it. You see, again, you have a right to believe. You have a right to believe anything you want to. You have, and so that's why. What if Z or Emmanuel called and said, "Dad, I'm a transgender now." I said, "Listen, wherever you live, stay there. Yeah, wherever you transgender to, you stay there." Yeah, but they know how that they wouldn't. My boys would never call and say that. Okay, that wouldn't. Even if it was true, they wouldn't tell me. They wouldn't tell me. Believe me, they wouldn't. Now, if anybody think I'm wrong, you can call me. I'm good. I don't mind taking complaints and things of that nature. Whenever you don't take names, fingerprints, and phone numbers, whenever burglary or a car theft apply to Gump residents, I know why crime is down. And that's something that is some of the things that I've heard that we don't take. Matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, somebody said, no sense in us taking this information because you're never going to find it anyway. So, okay, well, whatever. Then why do you say we want a man when someone is breaking into our house okay, because you do. If a man and a woman is in a house and somebody's breaking in, if that man looked at you and said, "You go find out who it is," you look at him like he's crazy, because it is their job. It is a man's job to protect that female. Okay, not be her provider, but protect her. It is a man's job to do that. Okay, because we're the stronger of the species, and therefore, having the strength, we are more responsible for doing that. Okay, that's got nothing to do with And now, if that man's all of a sudden said, "I just turned myself into a woman," so you go down there. Hopefully, you get rid of him before the day is over. Okay, all right. So anyway, again, if you can't believe the basic tenets of who we are as a species, then my Lord, how can I believe anything else that you say? I mean, really, how can I believe anything you say if you can't understand that male is male and female is female, and you cannot change them? Okay, silly. You are stronger and more responsible. That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, I don't know about more responsible, but a male is stronger. Now, what I'm about to say should not be taken lightly because I really believe this. You see, I do believe that women inherently are more naturally intelligent than men. I believe that. I believe that. And I think they think clearer when they're not going on the emotional upheaval in their lives. I think women have an advantage over a man. But the problem is emotionalism gets involved with females and they negate what I believe is a natural, which is a natural intellectual advantage. Okay. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, Kevin.
Yes.
Listen,
Yeah.
I just want you to answer one question for me.
Go right ahead.
What transgender person have you seen talk to that said they've turned themselves into a woman?
What does the word transgender mean?
We know what it means.
Okay, then that's all I need. Give me the word, say I'm a transgender, and you telling me you turn yourself from one sex to another.
But what I'm saying, who you know personally, and just throwing stuff out there. Who do you know?
I know a couple. I know a couple people. Yeah. Personally, yeah. But I give them all the respect because hey, that's what they.
But my point is this:
yeah.
Have they tried to convert you? Have they tried to make you tell you in your mind that you're not heterosexual? Have they tried to change your gender?
You don't have to undo or redo what is natural.
But my point is, have they tried to change your profile?
No, no. They're trying to insult my little bit of intelligence that I have.
But see, the point is this: they're not trying to change you. So why are you trying to change them? God will straighten it out in the end.
Wait a minute. You don't have to change them because they never have changed.
Well, my point is this: why are you trying to change their mindset? We know it's a mindset.
Their mindset. Oh,
God going to do the judging. You just need to leave it alone. Tell them what I was taught this and move on.
Well, and that's fine. And listen, anybody can come on this podcast with me, and we'll have that conversation. If they think that I'm wrong. If they think that I'm wrong, then tell me.
There's no right and wrong.
Yeah, yes, there is. There's a right and wrong. Yeah, there's a right.
We all have sin. We come to our own conclusion, and God's going to straighten out the sin.
There is. Wait a minute.
Because you're not going to change them, and they're not going to change you.
But there are things. But there are things that you don't have the freedom to come to your own conclusion because there are things in the universe. There's an order to the universe, and you can't change them.
God give you free will to believe whatever you want to believe.
Who told you that?
It is God give you free will. And then He'll judge you in the end.
Again, God gave us a brain to understand certain things and have common sense.
But you beat your head up against the wall. There's something.
I'm not trying to. Again, I don't care what people do. Just don't insult me by telling me that you're something that you're not.
Why be insulted? That's just what they believe.
Then again, and in colleges and universities where they have this crap going on, and those are the people that are going to produce our future leaders.
Well, Kevin, in all the schools all over the world, they got people that believe in this, and they've been this way for years and centuries and centuries. Even back in the Egyptian times, they started this.
Okay. Listen.
There was a place. Wait a minute.
There was a place called Solomon and Gomorrah.
Yeah, he destroyed it, and he's gonna destroy this when he gets tired.
Well, it's true, but just because you think you're something doesn't make you that.
Well, Kevin,
yeah,
there are other things in the world to meditate on, like
I am meditating. I got a lot of stuff here. I got a lot of stuff.
And getting the city safe.
Hey, as a matter of fact, maybe you can answer this one question. Talk about school. Why is it kids got out of school in May, and now we got to go buy all these new clothes a couple of weeks later because they got to go back to school? What's up?
You don't have to. if they still can wear the same ones and the colors haven't changed, you just wash them and put them back in their same clothes.
Aren't they wearing what do you call that stuff in school now? They're wearing the same. Everybody wears the same thing. What do you call that? The uniforms.
Uniform.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You just wash your child's uniform from last year, put a good stars in them, and send them on back to school.
But
you don't have one of them this year.
Wait a minute. I've been hearing people say, "Well, I got to buy my child some new clothes for school."
If he's outgrown the clothes, yeah, you may have to.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but the same pair of pants, the same shirt, same color. You don't have to go out and get broke.
If it fit, you just add it up and put some
That's
starch
right.
in it.
Put an eye on it. Okay, I just wonder why people.
But that's parenting. That's parenting.
Yeah.
You got to have sense for your money.
Yeah. Because I would buy Z 7 shirts a year, just to make sure if he didn't want to wash them, he could wear one for the beginning of the.
Montgomery Public Schools, I'll be glad you don't have Z in school this year because maybe you won't talk about them.
Yeah, I don't have any reason to talk about it anymore. Although I'm going to have Zakia, Dr. Bird on. We're going to talk about it because we still pay for the schools. We still have we still have an interest in it.
I know, but we do have interest. But some people like to go into the school and make them know.
Listen, my son told me, and again, it changed my mind about the school somewhat. He says the teachers at the school teach well. He said, but the problem is that the environment, which is what I've been complaining about, the environment by which he tried to learn in was just absolutely chaotic sometimes in the classroom. And so until grown people decide they want to have order in these schools, and even they've taken the phones out of the school, but they really haven't. They let you bring them to school and put them in one of them lock thing, but that pouch can be open. So they're getting.
I've been out now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been out now over 20 years, so I know I wouldn't go back up in there now because I might wind up in jail.
Exactly. But why is that? Because we're still grown. We're still in charge. Yeah. We're still in charge because
I
grown
can't tolerate what goes on now.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
Well, because they have allowed the environment, and that's the same thing in our city I'm talking about. They have allowed the environment to become chaotic in our cities and in our schools. And that's the problem.
With Miss Bird and me last night. She had it was a nice meeting.
That's good. But I've been to enough meetings. I'm good. You hear the same thing. But I'm good.
Well, Miss Beard,
but the one thing I say about Julie Beard, she does seem to be involved and in concern about her computer. She just got mad at me one time when I had on air and asked about the Whitehurst case. she wasn't too happy with that one. I don't think she talked to me since then. Anyway, as usual, it's always good.
Well, Kevin, find you another topic. School's beginning, and a lot of stuff needs to go on.
And I'm going to keep.
Needs to be,
I'm going to keep
over the airways.
I am, and I'm going to be. I'm going to be talking about the student of the week, like the Montgomery Advertiser, like I did. And the Montgomery Advertiser didn't really put enough out there about that contest. And if these kids are doing good, we need to acknowledge that. Okay, and if they're doing bad, we need to acknowledge that too. Anyway,
I'm gonna let you go. Have a blessed day.
All right then. Okay then. So we're doing okay. We're doing all right. I mean, I don't know why people get on me, but all I'm saying, don't tell me things that are not true. Okay. So just don't tell me that. But again, I think women, and I'll say it again, I think women are naturally a little bit more intelligent than men. But where we make up the difference is we're stronger than y'all. Now, there are a couple women out there, them Russian women, and maybe some women in jail, they've been lifting weights now. They got some strength on them, but men are naturally stronger than women. We just are. That makes up for that little bit of intellectual edge I think that women have over us sometimes. Okay, but I do think women are a little bit smarter than men by nature, because a woman, think about it, does a lot of things. I mean, she births children in, she takes care of them all. She's their first teacher. She has to do lots of things. And I ain't mad at that. And that's why people who are males that call themselves a woman is an insult to women, because women go through lots of things. They got to go through that, all that stuff they got to go through. and I just wouldn't let nobody grab the title just for the hell of it. So, but anyway, I'm good. A lot of other things going on besides this. I don't know why I'm always getting in these. Uh, Listen, I can believe what I want to believe. Y'all can believe what you want to believe, and I won't try to change your mind. So don't try to change mine. Okay, I believe in reality. Okay, and reality says that there's an order to the universe, and no matter what you think, no matter what you think, it doesn't change. Okay, you can't change the order. All you can do, all you can do is mess with it. And sooner or later, nature will mess with you. And it will not be nice because nature always wins. Like when I was in Washington State, I was up there living in Tacoma. In 1980, 81, whichever year it was, Mount St. Helens blew up. Everybody, and I was about 100 miles away, and we could see the smoke. It was that much smoke in the air, that much stuff in the air. And everybody said, it's over. That mount will never come back. That mount will never come back. The vegetation is gone. It's all, okay, guess what they did? They lied. Okay, they were trying to scare the hell out of us. They lied. And guess what? Mount St. Helens right now is just as plentiful with vegetation as it was 30 years ago, 35 years ago, whenever 1980 was. Well, 80, 90, 2010, 2000. Well, anyway, 40 years ago, it's back. Okay, because nature has a way of correcting things, and it will also correct people who think they're a woman. Okay, I believe that. I believe that alone. Okay, you're not a woman. Anyway, what it said? Do you believe it is a big, beautiful bill? I think. I think anytime there's change, because I know I've been through some recently, as a matter of fact. Anytime there is change, there are going to be proponents of it and adversaries of it. It is going to be difficult. But the one thing, Ronald Reagan said something years ago that he said, the worst thing you want to hear is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. Okay. And you know what? He was absolutely right. But I don't have a problem. The theory behind the bill, the theory behind it is a good one. Okay. Now, it is not the bill, it is the implementation of it. Because I am for people, older people, getting their Social Security, because they paid money into that stuff, and it still ain't enough to live by. I don't think if you're 21 years old, you need food stamps unless you're mentally or physically incapable of working. I don't think you need that. I think and older people who on Social Security who work their whole life, especially older people in their late 70s, early 80s, they didn't get the opportunities that a lot of us have gotten. Okay. And so I'm thinking, yeah, we owe them something. We owe them something. They worked hard. They worked their whole life. They blazed the path that most of us are walking in today. So yeah, I'm good. I think that the bill it needs some tuning up, but it is the application that I'm worried about of how it's going to affect everybody. I'm a proponent of people coming to this country legally, but I am not a proponent of the way we're doing it, with the way we are trying to get people out. I don't think well, at least from our southern borders, most of those people are just trying to get over here and make a decent living. And years ago, we told them to come on. We told them to come on by not stopping them. So I don't have a problem. They come over. I know some of my Hispanic friends, they just work their butts off. Up early in the morning before the sun gets up, comes home late at night after the sun goes down. They're hardworking people. So I don't think going around rounding people up is the way to is a way to affect the change that you want to affect. I mean, we need to do something. That's true. But and again, I asked the question about this: why is everybody so messed over about immigration when everybody in the world, if we put them in one place, they'd all fit in a city? They would fit in the city. They would fit in Los Angeles County. So is it space, or are we just a little bit prejudiced in America? I mean, that is one of the things that America was built on, was a little bit of prejudice, a little bit of racism, as it were. People who think they're superior because they happen to have a different pixel in their skin, a different melanin in their skin, or lack thereof. So it's how you implement the programs, not necessarily the programs themselves. So I don't necessarily like the way we do the immigration. I don't. It gives me a bad taste in my mouth. Again, it reminds me when the Nazis used to go around rounding up Jewish people, and I'm just telling you, I don't like that at all. That's just not who we are. But I'm not in charge. But I ain't gonna never turn nobody in. As long as you over here doing your job, being a good citizen, hey, Donald found a brother, huh? Oh, Donald, you shouldn't dislike transgender. It increases your dating pool. It's gonna get awful bad for my dating pool. For me to get a transgender, believe me, it's going. Jamal says a little bit of prejudice. Man, stop. Well, we were built on a little bit of prejudice, a little bit of racism, as it were. We were built on some of that. I don't think we are totally there now, but we still have vestiges of it. That's true. But I just don't let them bother me. Okay. So, got to take a break. I got to get my glass of milk. Got to have a glass of milk. So you guys hang loose. I'll be back in about 3 minutes. And if you guys want to take me to chat, now, again, you can always feel like you can call if you want to. 521-2963 is the number. Hey, I'm up for any kind of conversation this morning. I can handle it. Yeah, I'm really motivated. I had a good night's sleep last night. So let's take a break, and we shall return uno momento. All right. So hang loose. We'll be right back. I promise. Okay, we're break. Had to take a break. My brother's birthday is today. I didn't really talk about family very much. I left home 50 something, 50 years ago, somewhere around there. 1974, whatever year that was. 51 years ago, as a matter of fact. I don't really know my brother and sister very well, to tell you the truth. But my brother's birthday is today. Kyle Timothy Nance. I'll be in Indiana. I have to give him a call up and tell him happy birthday. Okay then. All right. Okay. We can turn that off now, guys. That's enough. That's enough of that. Anyway. Good morning. And just to make my point that I'm moving on something else. Just to make my point. One of our callers this morning said she was a teacher, and she made my point without ever realizing she was making my point for me. She said she used to be a teacher, but she wouldn't be able to teach today because the environment in school is so different. Okay, apply that same philosophy to the city of Montgomery. It used to be, when I got here in 91, I was really not, there wasn't too many places I was scared to go. It's okay. So and Emory Farmer had this city on lockdown. Okay. And there were many people complaining that we didn't have strip bars. We didn't have booby bars where people walking there and women showing their boobs. We didn't have all that. And I'm telling you, it's probably been for the betterment of Montgomery, but people were whining about that too. And if they had places in this town where people could have boob parties, then we'd be upset about that. Okay. Don. Let's see, what does Don say? I don't know where Don came. I haven't even missed Don, but okay. So for a person who says, don't lie to me, you sure tell a lot of lies. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Don Lowry. Now, Don never has anything good to say about anybody. I really don't think Don even likes his own self. I think when he gets up in the morning, he looks in the mirror and he gets mad all over again. Okay. But that's okay. That's Don, that's him. Okay. So that's cool. Okay. But so he'll never say anything good about me or anything, or you either, as a matter of fact. That's good. 360 million people will not fit in Los Angeles. If they stood toe to toe, I'm just telling you what the scientists tell me. If they stood toe to toe, you could put the world's population in one city, toe to toe. Now that's not with the buildings or anything. If you just strictly went numerically, they said you could do it, and the Earth wouldn't turn. Because some people thought some congressmen or some asked if you put too much weight on one part of the Earth, will it turn? No, it won't turn. At least that's what I have been told by this. That's what we've been told by the scientists. Now, whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. But they said if you put them toe to toe. So evidently, space is not the issue with immigration. Space is not the issue. We can't say that they're using all of our space up because we got plenty. You can go up to Montana, Wyoming, and places like that. Nobody want to live there because it's too cold. It is too cold up there. The Mexican men are doing a great job working, but why are the Mexican women are filling the food stamps line with babies? You got more Mexican on food stamp than Black Americans. Well, that's realistic. We got more Mexicans in America than we have Black Americans. We are no longer the majority minority. We are a minority. We don't no longer. We lost that. That standing. So I don't know. Listen, but I'd rather listen. Babies got to eat. Babies got to eat. And we don't. Ever since the old abortion thing came out, but when we said just get rid of your baby when you want to, you don't have to have a bunch of kids no more. You can just say, nah, we don't need this one. We'll get one with pink eyes. Okay, so I'm just saying, abortion didn't help our issue either. And they say in America right now, white women are not really having that many kids anymore, and I don't know why that is, but maybe because it costs too much to raise them. you know, I mean, we've taken everything up in this country. Okay, everything up in this country. Okay, now anybody else got anything they want to disagree with me? Now, I do think I do a great job of explaining my position. Okay, I really do. I think I'm almost brilliant. Good morning.
Good morning, Kevin. Long time no see. How you
Yeah,
doing?
I was hoping you didn't find me, brother. But
Well, I called you on my cell phone and it didn't go through. I thought maybe you blocked it.
nah,
Is that your living room?
it sure is. It's my in-home studio.
Well, no wonder your wife left. That's a hell of a decoration you got in there behind you, brother.
It's my man cave.
Well, it's a cave, all right.
Well, that's what it is.
Hey, Kevin, you said a while ago you hate people lie to you.
I hate when people tell me they are what they're not.
I understand that. That's why I dislike you.
Okay, amen. So what have I said that I am that I'm not?
Well, you got paratrooper all over the damn wall back
Okay, and I'm not one.
there. You're not one, Kevin.
Okay, well listen,
You've never been one.
listen. You have what we call grandiose ideology.
No, you don't understand what that means. What is grandiose
No,
ideology?
but I know. I mean, you have a
You try not to use words you don't know what they mean.
you have a self.
You would have that if there was anything, not me.
You have a sense of I don't know, superiority.
You got little man syndrome. You got to make up stuff to try to sound like you're important.
No, I am important to myself.
You never provided any proof that you jumped out of a plane. Your own children said they've never seen anything that said you jumped out of a plane.
Well,
now when your children don't back you up, that's a sad day.
Well, that's true. But all my kids were born after I got out.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you got flags all over the wall, and you ain't got no proof in the house that you jumped out of a plane.
Again,
you seem like you would put up something to prove it.
Yeah,
the only picture you got is when you're in your cook uniforms, and you don't even have a Ranger tab or a parachute thing on there.
Okay, listen.
How come that is? I mean, you love it so much.
Listen,
but you've never produced anything that says you've accomplished it.
You have a sense of one. Somebody told me something a long time ago. If you know what you know, let them blow.
Who told you that?
It's a good old saying. And so
you can't even get over that Mount St. Helens thing. We proved that you weren't there when Mount St. Helens went off. But you keep saying stuff that's just absolutely fictitious.
Okay. So where was I when Mount St. Helens went off?
I ain't got no idea. I can't figure it out. That you were in service for 8 years.
I was in the service.
And you were how many places you were stationed?
I was actually,
you were in. You said you were in Hawaii. What for 3 years?
I was actually in the
How
National
Guard. How could you
Guard
been in the service for 8 years and been all over the places you say you've been?
With an airplane.
Oh, but you're scared to get on one.
Well, I don't like them no more, but I got on them then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to see you, brother.
Nice to see you.
I hope I ain't the number 11 guy that's listening this morning. Am I?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. How do they count that?
I don't really know how that works either. But I don't do it for.
Could you do that on like a conference call? That many people?
I guess you could. I don't really know. I don't.
But I do want to thank you for one thing.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, you got that microphone so it cuts off half your face. I can take just half of it one day.
Okay. Well, listen, as always.
Yeah, I'll call back.
Yeah, call back sometime. Yeah. Call like at 10 o'clock tonight. Anyway, that's Don. Don is a consummate. He's a constant naysayer, which I mean. Don says Elkins has never jumped out of an airplane. I wasn't even in the Army. I was only in the Army for 8 years. I was actually in there for more than that. Almost 10, as a matter of fact. but 2 years was in the reserves. Actually, I was in the Georgia National Guard. To tell you the truth, a little town called Calhoun, Georgia, as a matter of fact. Well, the natty nabob of negativity strikes again. The man that just hates. He's hateful. He can't help it. That's cool. He just can't help it. I think he's got little penis syndrome. I don't know, but he got something going on there. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. We are all Native American, not black. Black is a legal status not pertaining to the law. If your parents were born in America, you are absolutely. Nobody can argue with that statement. If you're born here, you're Native American. Absolutely right. But I don't think anybody can. It amazes me that in this country and all over the world, the government is in charge of giving out land, selling land that they had nothing to do with making. They had nothing to do with getting it here. They had nothing to do with maintaining it all these years. And we let our government charge us for something that they didn't have, that they didn't make. That amazes me. The government I can understand the government parceling it out. I can understand the government saying, well, okay, we'll assign this plot of land to you. You don't ever own it. You can't take it with you. But while you're living, you can basically rent it, which is what we do. We pay taxes on it. But it always amazed me how you're going to give somebody land when it wasn't yours. That has always amazed me how we can do that. We can't. I mean, we take some things for granted out here. If you want to, if you totally want to disagree with me, that's fine. And we got a number up there somewhere. I think that we'll let you call. Hey, Ralph, how you doing, my man? We appreciate we hanging in here. What Greg says. Here's why I'm against illegal immigration. Estimates vary, but recent data suggests U.S. government spending on illegal immigration ranging from $150.7 billion to $451 billion annually. If you tell me that there's a huge expenditure for illegal aliens, I'm with you. I'm thinking, and if they stop spending all that money, then they would only get people coming here who know they have to work. They have to get a job. They can't just come here and suck off the breast of a nation. And the thing about this, though, but you can tell they're Democrats, right? The people putting these programs out are Democrats. Because the thing about this, they're some of the hardest working people I've ever seen. So I don't believe they come here just to get money. But if you keep putting it out there, if you keep saying, come over here, we'll get your food stamp, we do this and we'll do that, well, then people are coming. I can't blame them. Can you? So again, Democrats, okay, their mindset is everybody's a victim. Everybody's a victim, and therefore they gotta need some help. Well, let's see. How did we do it years ago? Now, how did we do it years ago when they didn't have all this stuff to give away? When we didn't have a hotel in New York where we can put people in, we didn't have when they came to Ellis Island, how did they do it? They knew coming here was going to be a tough ride, but they knew that they were at least, if they're willing to put in the work, that they can make some nice stuff. And this country is replete with people who have come here with absolutely nothing, okay, and rose to the heights of success that only happens in movies, but it happened in reality for a lot of these people. So again, the Democrats want votes. They want votes. They don't really care whether or not it's an illegal vote or an illegal vote. They want votes. That's what they want. And like the redistricting thing is not for you. Redistricting has never been for the voter. Redistricting has always been for the political party. It's never been for the voter. It just never been. I got see more of my face. Let me see. It looked pretty good, as a matter of fact. Anyway, moving right along to other things. It is 8:29 in the morning. Let's see what's happening. I had the weather thing up here, okay, and I was going to if you let me do a refresh here of my screen and see what the temperature is outside. Ooh, it's warm out there. It's 90 degrees, as a matter of fact, in the city of Montgomery right now. Today's temperature forecast is nearly the same as it were yesterday, so it hadn't really changed. But here's the forecast for today. There's a 43% chance of precipitation, partly cloudy with isolated thunderstorms around the area, developing this afternoon. High around 97 degrees. Late winds in north and northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain today, 40%. Tonight, a 15% chance of precipitation. Some clouds, a stray shower or two is going to hit us. Maybe low 76 degrees and a high, and light, the winds are light and variable. On tomorrow, if the Lord lets us see that day, 24% chance of precipitation, some sun in the morning, and increasing clouds in the afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High tomorrow, 93. Winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Precipitation today, 40% chance. Slight rain for the next 6 hours. Pollen is low. I don't know what ragweed pollen is, but I guess it's not good. Air quality is good. And the UV index is extreme. The daytime UV index is 11. Now that don't hurt black folks because I like the sun. Okay, I really do. I don't like working in, but I like it. And you know what I found out is that during COVID, is that black people's skin does not absorb the sun. I thought it was exactly the opposite. It absorbed the sun easier than other races, but it doesn't. We actually have a harder time. That's why a lot of black folks died during that COVID thing, because we didn't have vitamin D. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why we didn't have vitamin D, because our skin and staying inside all the time is not good. And I can't understand why schools don't let kids go out and play anymore. For recess, we don't do that, and you wonder why our kids getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and coming in the room talking about I'm a transgender. I'm gonna leave that alone. We're gonna leave that alone because that's not on my mind anymore. Okay. Estimates vary, but recent day, yeah. But you can't blame. You cannot blame the people for coming if in fact we invite them. We can't. I would come too. If Mexico, let me put it this way: if the president of Mexico said, "Listen, if you want to come to Mexico, we're gonna give you a free house in a great neighborhood. All you gotta do is get here. I'm going. Yeah, I'll be down there. I'll be in Mexico. Yeah, right now. I'll be climbing to get over the fence in Mexico, and then Mexico would be complaining about us as illegal aliens coming over there. You give people something for nothing, they come. Okay, they coming. I'll go too. So if y'all let me know if y'all see any sign of that out there where they giving anything away free in Mexico, and I'm headed over there. Okay, I'm headed over there. Okay, what else is going on in the world? Because I got a lot. I did a lot of studying last night as I was up to my neck in things. Okay. The lesson of life. I always have this lesson of life thing. And today it's no different. And I forgot to do it. Yes. The lesson of life is this today. And this is a quote by George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver said, "How far you go in life depends on your being tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, and tolerant of the weak and strong." He says, because someday in your life, you will have been all of these things. And I'm telling you something, if that's, I think that's a good word today to remember. I'll get to you one more time. How far you go in life depends on being tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, tolerant of the weak and strong. Because someday in your life, if you live, you have been all of these. So remember that when you see somebody going through a hard time, whatever the case may be, just remember you could be there tomorrow. Oh yeah, all it takes is one car accident. I know people who have car accidents, people didn't have no insurance, put them in harm. It changed their whole life. In 1 second of a car accident can change your life. Can't go to work. People want to put you out of your house. Can't get the light bill paid. Can't do all kinds of things, and you'll need to depend on others to help you. So, I'm just saying, so always think about that now, because where you are right now, in an hour from now, your life could change. So be nice to people, okay? Be nice to me. I'm going to even try to be nice to Don. I'm going to try to be nice to him too. Anyway, so again, the Cosby Show actor Malcolm Jamal Warner is dead at 54. He played Theo Huxtable in the TV series. It wasn't Huxtable, Bill Cosby show. So he died in a water accident, I guess. Moving right along to other things. Now, here's one, and this is me. Alabama Public Television, all these public TV places around the nation are whining because the president said, you know what? You need to do like everybody else. Why should the public pay for your radio station? Okay. Really, be like everybody else. We built the towers. Now we're going to take some of that money. If you really want to be on the radio, first of all, they need to hire me over there and let's do a talk show over there, and we'll get some advertisement over there. But no. They don't want it. So they want to be, they got a certain political philosophy and a political ideology over there. And what's going to happen is that they're going to be out of business. Okay. But call Elkins over there. I'll come over there and I'll get your ratings up. Okay. But we got to earn it. You just can't, you just can't pay people out of the dollar, out of the government's money. So, anybody at public radio, if you're hearing this, I'm willing to come over there and work for you guys for a small fee. The U.S. House passed a spending cut package Friday that will put back $9 billion in federal spending. Now, I do believe that the federal government has a responsibility to some of our citizens. I do believe that, but not Alabama, not public radio. Okay, public radio is not a necessity. I can see if we didn't have any radio station whatsoever, but it is not a necessity to have public radio. Okay, let them earn their money like everybody else does. Okay, media advocates argue that the loss of funds will be devastating blows to Americans who rely on NPR. Yeah, propaganda radio is what that is. National propaganda radio and PBS stations for local news. We don't need you for local news. We got local news. We don't need public radio for local news. I mean, we got me. We have WSFA. WAKA, we got all kind of radio stations. We don't need to pay. Okay, we don't need to pay them, and they didn't cut all their money. They lost $2.8 million. Get out there and sell some advertising. You'll be all right. See who really wants to listen to you. If people want to listen to you, then they will, they'll give up the money. Okay, so stop whining. Okay, I never see people who government money always whining. Now, you may not have known about this particular issue. You remember some years ago in 2020, there was an incident in St. Louis, Missouri. I think it was near St. Louis or, Louisville, Kentucky. Breonna Taylor was a woman, a young lady, as a matter of fact, 26 years old. She was an EMT. She spent her life helping other people. On March the 13th, 2020, the police, plainclothes police officers, as a matter of fact, they come to their apartment door and they executed a no-knock warrant. That's a way to get somebody killed. And I sure hope Montgomery, Alabama does not participate in no-knock warrants. I hope we don't do that. Because this is why. They were sleeping in their bed, her and her friend. They were sleeping in their bed. Somebody bust the door wide open at her apartment. Okay. And according to them later on, it was because they had heard quote unquote, there was some drug investigation going on, some drug activity going on in her house, and there wasn't. Okay. Involving her ex-boyfriend. Okay. So plain clothes. Now think about this for you laying, you sleeping. All of a sudden your door pops wide open. So the young man got up and he had a gun in his hand and he did shoot, which I would have shot too. Okay. Somebody busted in your door. Anyway, her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, fired one shot, thinking that there were intruders who had broken into his house, striking one officer, a guy named Mattingly, in the leg. Officers returned fire. They shot 32 times. Okay. And Taylor, Breonna, 26-year-old lovely woman, helping other people, struck her 5 to 6 times. She died on the scene. Wasn't no sense calling the EMT for her, huh? Because they had killed her. No drugs were found in this man's house. Okay. The Warren affidavit was later found to have based on inaccurate and misleading information. And this is where our law enforcement sometimes gets it wrong. In the name of drugs, we're just going to bust in people's houses rather than do some footwork and wait till them come out. But anyway, the Warren affidavit was later found to have been based on inaccurate and misleading information. Somebody just wanted to go over there. 3 of the officers involved, Hankinson, Mattingly, and Cosgrove, were placed on leave. Hankinson was fired soon due to reckless gunfire. In September 2020, a Kentucky grand jury indicted only Brett Hankinson, not for her death, but for wanton endangerment for firing into a neighboring apartment. Okay, they think they can just go in and just start shooting that thing. On March 2022, Hankinson was acquitted of all state charges. In August 2022, federal charges were brought under the Biden DOJ against Hankinson, Kelly Gottlieb, Joshua James, and Kyle Meany for false affidavits and obstruction in relation to the warrant. In September 2020, the city of Louisville settled wrongful death suit with Taylor's family for $12 million, the largest such settlement to date. Now, and this is where I am. This is why I always bring up the Bernard Whitehurst case. Money will never bring back this young lady. Never. But it sure will help the people they leave behind to struggle. Okay. So, and this is why for some reason we can't. I'm gonna get the Whitehurst on the air one day. We're gonna, and you got, because most of you folks are young. I didn't know anything about it until I got here in '91. So people around here say, well, because it happened 50 years ago, we don't owe that family anything. Well, that's a lie. They do, but we'll get to that later on. The settlement included a ban on no-knock warrants in Louisville, Kentucky. Breonna's law. It's called Breonna's law. Mandatory body cams and numerous reforms around warrant oversight. And Kentucky passed a no-knock warrant, too late, ban in 2021. Federal conviction and recent sentencing. Well, in November 2024, Hankinson was convicted in federal court for civil rights violation related to the raid. He didn't fire the shot that killed her, but his reckless, blind fire endangered neighbors and everybody else. July 21st, 2025, yesterday, as a matter of fact, he was sentenced to 33 months in prison, along with 3 years of supervised release, marking the first jail sentence in connection with that case. Judge Jennings overruled the Trump-era DOJ's recommendation of 1 day, labeling it inappropriate given the seriousness of the event. So the decision, of course, sparked protests in Louisville, and Taylor's family, along with civil rights advocates, criticized the DOJ's lenient recommendation. I don't know if that's lenient or not. 33 months, and how many years is that? 12. Anyway, it's almost 3 years. The case simulated widespread police reform stimulate, a widespread police reforms and efforts. And I think, and we need, and hopefully we don't have that in Montgomery. We don't have no knock warrants where you just bust on the door and you blame somebody, okay? And you blame somebody for shooting at you when you bust in their house. Something's wrong with that. That's not a good thing. Something's wrong with that. You don't need it. So if her death means anything, it means that the government needs to be more responsible, because police are the only people in America that legally can take your life. Okay, legally can take your life. So if we're going to give people that kind of power, because even in war, we have rules of war. And if you're going to have rules in war, when people are out there on the battlefield trying to hurt one another, then doggone, we certainly need rules in civilian life where these people are not there to kill you. They're there to assist you and help save property. Okay. So, yeah, I think he got a just decision. I think 3 years probably, probably is not necessarily that short, not that long, but, somebody has to pay for killing that young lady, 26 years old. And all she was doing was in her own home. That happened in Louisville, Kentucky. After all these years, that was 2020. So that's almost 6 years ago. Now the case is over and he gets 33 months. And then once he gets out of prison, he gets 33. He gets 3 years of supervised probation, whatever that is. Now, let's talk about something I don't normally talk about. Okay. I'm going to talk about a little sports right now till the end of the show. A little sports. And Tuberville and a few other folks are all involved in this name and likeness thing for college players. Now, I personally don't think they should get name and likeness contracts. I don't think they should. I think that's crazy. Okay. That's what the NFL is for, the NBA and all that stuff. And that's what they're for. They are to make the riches there, not in college. So here's what I think we should do. I do believe we should give them a stipend. All football players get a stipend of $2,000 a month. That's it. If you're really good, you will get some money from the NBA or the NFL or CBA or MBLB, whatever they call it. But college football players should not get millions of dollars in name and likeness, because that lends itself to a whole lot of danger, not only for the kids, and then most of them will be broke by the time they get out of college because they don't know what to do with all that kind of money. They've been married a couple of times, and some woman who thought they were ugly as a backwards dog now love them to death because they got all that money. And then when they put the ring on their finger, Shutter Sanders, I think, did that. Soon they put the ring on the finger, the next thing you know is that, well, we're going to get divorced because of irreconcilable differences. And then now half your money is gone now to a woman who didn't love you to begin with. Okay, didn't love you to begin with. So name and likeness things, every football player should get the same amount of money, and that would be $2,000 a month, because they do make these colleges and universities a whole lot of money, And so I think that's what, and it should be a stipend. And every football player, whether they're on the first string or the last string, should get that $2,000 stipend. That will allow them to get some personal items, maybe help buy my old raggedy car or something like that, but so they can get around. But I think name and likeness is a bad thing. I'm with Nick Saban. It has not been good for college sports. It's just not been good for college sports, because even though the quarterback gets all the glory, you can't get glory as a quarterback if you're on your back all the time, because the people in the front line don't protect you. Okay, so football is truly a team sport. It is a sport that nobody's more important. No position is more important than any other position. One just gets the limelight because the quarterback is the guy that has to get the ball down the road. But again, if nobody was down there to catch it, then it wouldn't do you any good to throw it. Okay, so I think we need to do. I'm with Nick Saban said, "Hell with this." I'm not gonna. They're gonna make more money than I am. No. How you gonna tell somebody what to do to making that kind of money? So NIL is a bad deal. If there's anybody that disagree with that, I hope not, because it is a bad deal. It's a bad deal. But I believe college football players bringing all that money, all to get $2,000 a month in a stipend, and everybody is the same, because nobody feels slighted. Because just because I'm the what's that guy in the middle that gives the ball to the quarterback? Forgot what they call him. Anyway, just because I do that job, the whole thing starts. What do they call that position? I forgot what they call it. Anyway, hope we don't pass gas though when he getting the ball to the quarterback. But who knows? I'm pretty sure this happened. But anyway, what do they call that position? I cannot think of what they call that position. Well, anyway, he hands the ball to the quarterback between his legs and the ball, whatever. That guy don't really get much glory at all. He don't get much glory at all. No, he don't. But without him getting the ball to the quarterback, okay, nothing happens. Okay, nothing happens. So there's no position on the football field, kind of like life, that's more important than any other position. Some positions just get more glory. They get more glory. That's true. But the linebacker, and what about the defensive players? What about the defensive line? The defensive player, they don't get a lot of glory, but they deserve a decent paycheck too. Okay, so what we're going to end up doing is turning football teams against one another. Okay, not teams, they're players against one. Because why in the world should Sutter Sanders or anybody get all this extra money because they happen to be the quarterback, when without the whoever that guy is that gives the ball to the quarterback at the beginning of a play, he's important, because if he drops the ball, the play goes no place. If you don't have a command of that ball and gets it back to that quarterback in his hands, then nobody plays. Okay, nobody. The play is dead. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so 3 weeks into and I realized that I don't know why Mr. Figures is getting involved with this, but that isn't on the top of everybody's list in America right now. And I think Tuberville and has brought something up about it, and Figures has brought something up about it. I don't think it's I realize that we don't have a pro football team, but we do. It's called Alabama and Auburn. Okay, we do have a pro football team. Okay, so 3 weeks into the new era of revenue sharing for college athletes and the controversial clearinghouse for the third-party NIL deal that came with it, insanity still reigns. Legislation, of course, is coming. And it's called the House versus NCAA settlement that was supposed to calm the waters has only served to churn them. And of course, self-interest in the driving force behind the fight for a better way forward. Well, we'll see how all this works out. And, and we got some other athletes that are whining. The WNBA. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody cares about the WNBA. First of all, it sucks. And if it wasn't for the NBA, it wouldn't be no WNBA. They came out the other day with these shirts that pay us it says pay us what we deserve. You deserve what you can get. The WNBA is one of the worst sports franchises that we have in sports. I'd rather watch a college game any day than it. And I can't tell the women from the men. You just can't tell. And I'm telling you, there's some people in that WNBA that's a man. I don't care what anybody says, and it looks like a woman, but it's a man. A couple of them are. I'm going to leave that alone. But if you cannot, and the NBA gives the WNBA $40 million a year. So if these guys were any good, if the WNBA was any good, they would make enough money to sustain themselves. But if it were not for the NBA, okay, the WNBA would only be a memory. So is there anybody out there that actually watches the WNBA? I don't. I mean, they are boring, as a matter of fact. Now, if I can see a bunch of them, if I can see a bunch of them women down there, what do you call what do you do when you jump in the rim and throw the ball in there? What do you call that when they jump up and put the ball in the thing right there? What is that called? Dunk. Now show me some women that can dunk good. I'm good, and then they need to go to the NBA. Okay, if you can do all that good. So the WNBA, I'm sorry, ladies, but y'all suck. Okay, you suck. Yeah, there's no enthusiasm. Nobody's interested in it. Okay, and y'all need to shut up. Okay, and thank the boys of the NBA that they're willing to give you guys $40 million a year so you can sustain yourself. Okay, because nobody likes you. Okay, you suck. Yeah, WNBA is one of the worst things in sports. I'd rather watch a college game any day than look at a bunch of women run up and down, call themselves the WNBA, Women's National. They suck. Now, anybody disagree? Anybody disagree? How many of you guys out there actually watch WNBA? Yeah, I don't either. Okay. How many of y'all? Come on, somebody tell me. Who watches the WNBA? Oh, George Washington Carver. Well, George Washington Carver didn't invent the peanut, but he certainly learned. Oh, sinner. He's a sinner. Okay, good. That's what he is. He's a sinner. Okay. I appreciate that. That's what you call him, a sinner, right? He didn't invent the peanut, but he invented many products from the peanut. So let's. I know you're a teacher there. You know, I know you're the man and all. I know you're a former teacher, but I'm just corrected you on that because George Washington Carver didn't invent the peanut, but he did. I think God invented the peanut, but he learned how to do some of the things with the peanut that no other man had never figured out. Okay, I'm just saying. Greg says, always good to hear from. Yeah, well, he's quite a character. I saw him over there, but I don't want to be accused of stopping a man from talking. So I let him on the show with me, and I knew where he was going automatically. I just knew where he was going, but that's okay. I can live it because when you know what you know what you know. Okay, so we get it. I mean, the guy swears him down, never jumped out of an airplane, but now he can't prove that I didn't. Okay, and he just can't prove it. Okay. Now I must admit, Greg, I must admit, Caitlin has been the only person I watched in the NBA, only because I think she's a man too, but or him, whatever it is. But she brought some excitement to that sport because it sucked to begin with, and then they tried to pull the race card on her. You know, they other day they had a big meeting in WNBA, and she didn't show up, and everybody acted like she did something wrong. She didn't show up. She didn't have to show up. I mean, you know, listen, she don't have to go. So anyway, oh yeah, the killing in Alexander City. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, and not only the killing. What about the three boys? I just got to say this: the white guys who had a dungeon. Okay, yeah, Reese. I've never. They had a dungeon where they abused kids. I think that's in Alexander City, somewhere, Demopolis, or somewhere down there. Also, and one of the things I want to talk about, I'm trying to get somebody on the air. There's a place called Camp Hill. Camp Hill has been in trouble for years now. Houses are going to pots and all kind of things, and I'm trying to see if we can get a coalition of people together to go down. And they were like 60 miles from here. They're catching hell down there. But Angel, yeah, but come on. Really? Are you? Let me ask you something there, Marcel. Are you watching them because you watching the NBA, Angel Reese and Skylar Diggins because they play basketball, or you like the way they look? So let's just be honest here, okay? Because I haven't seen one woman that will make me watch a basketball game. Oh man, I gotta go. I gotta go. My time's up. We'll talk about this later. But I haven't seen one woman that make me say, man, I gotta get home and watch WNBA. No, I haven't seen one. Ain't got. Anyway, time's up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. The good Lord says the same. Have a great day. See ya. Wouldn't want to be.